what an honor and a pleasure it is to welcome our second Guestpert to the show. Third if you count our dad, I guess.
What the fuck is that dude good at?
What is he really? Raising heroes? We want to welcome Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin is where to start? A Tony Award winner? A composer? A friend, if I may be so bold.
You are so bold and so right.
He was on How I Met Your Mother.
He rapped in Marshall's face and made me the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, it was like the best. It was the best because I had just seen Lin in New York like a couple weeks before that, and it was probably the most famous I've ever felt. But anyway, welcome to the show, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, thank you, fellas. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's
very excited to be here.
You understand that that's crazy, right?
You're like a real dude in the earth.
You're like, I met Tom Selleck once after a performance of 1,000 Clowns. I met him after the show, and he told me, apropos of nothing, to keep it up. And this is still the coolest person I've ever talked to.
Oh my God, you guys!
So, Lin, you are an expert, if I may be so bold, a guestpert in musical theater. How did you?
I am.
How did you get your start there? How did that come about?
Oh gosh, I had my parents were cast album collectors. That's like their whole jam. So it was lots of Man of La Mancha. I think you guys went through the same thing because your dad tweeted me pictures of him as Nicely.
Man, if you want me to drop my Buddy Hackett as Sancho Panza on you, you just say the word.
Christ,
oh my God,
you have not heard Sancho until you. Justin basically is Sancho IRL.
In perhaps the most representative anecdote of my life, I am basically living day to day as Sancho Panza, and for years my audition jam was I Don Quixote, Man of La Mancha. It's like the classic sort of self-defeatist approach to getting cast in anything ever.
Good enough for number 2.
So who's your Don Quixote? Is that Griffin or is that Travis?
Well, I was auditioning for the role of Don Quixote, so presumably I need a yet fatter.
That's what the world's been waiting to see.
I basically need the subject of a TLC reality show as my Sancho Panza. But okay, Lin. Your credentials, sorry, I was letting you continue. I was letting you justify your guestpertness.
I've been writing musicals for a long time. My first musical I wrote in high school, it was a 20-minute musical called Nightmare in D Major. It was very pretentious, and it was about the fetal pig you dissect in AP Bio coming back to haunt you. It was the worst. Can
you sing us any of it now?
I would go see it, man.
I would still watch it.
I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard earlier when I said that I watched Tom Selleck in 1,000 Clowns all the way through. Like I would definitely. My bar is pretty low.
And then you wrote a musical called In the Heights.
Indeed.
Man, I'm glad I didn't mess that up. I had like a moment, I was like, I'm going to say it wrong. Here it comes.
On the flights.
Shit! Damn it! Blew it. Men in Tights.
Men in Tights. Have you noticed that Men in Tights and Jews in Space from History of the World Part 1 are the exact same melody?
I have noticed that, Lin.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If we get you guys to start on Mel Brooks, we'll never escape from it.
Oh, my God.
And you're working on a new musical, or it's done now? What's the status on Hamilton?
It's going to open next year at the Public, and it's called Hamilton, and it's a hip-hop musical about Alexander Hamilton.
Is that finally? Okay, yes.
Oh, my God. If there was ever a role,
is that what
Justin McElroy.
Yes. Is that where you just said you're at the Public before we started recording? Are you like on the scene right now?
Yeah, I have a deadline on Friday for the producers to bring in new songs. So I was just like, can I have office space so that I'm not just at home? And it changes every day. So I walk around the Public in like slippers and pajamas, like a crazy person.
Fuck, that's cool though.
How long until they realize that you're living there?
I mean, I brush my teeth a lot. It's very Pursuit of Happiness right now.
You hear that in the rafters? You hear that?
That's the ghost of Joe Papp.
All right, here we go. Questions. We do have questions for you, Lynn, and we're going to give them to you now. Prepare.
All right, I'm ready.
Can I borrow your Tony for a weekend? No questions asked. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Just go ahead and
Do you
UPS that to me.
Is it kosher to sing musical theater at karaoke? I imagine it's more nuanced than yes, no. What sorts of musical theater work at karaoke? I wonder if it's about some sort of irony, like a step of removal from just belting a ballad. Sometimes Les Mis group numbers have worked well, but like Oklahoma, that seems like bad news. What are your Guestpert's thoughts? And that's from an alto who can't belt for shit.
Wow, Justin, that's really fucking harsh.
That's the self-described as his own moniker, his or her own moniker.
It's probably a her.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Could be a dude alto.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think that this is I think it's absolutely acceptable, but as in all karaoke, you gotta read the room. There's fun meatloaf singing like Paradise by the Dashboard Light where everyone can get involved because there's lots of parts for everybody. And then there's like singing Heaven Can Wait really slowly to yourself. Sadly, and everyone's just
But
sad.
sometimes a crowd wants it. Sometimes a crowd just came there to put some tears in their beers.
And that's when you do
true.
Summer Lovin'.
Yeah.
Summer Lovin's pretty good. Anything from Grease will get everyone involved. If you're doing
involved.
You got to
but,
do Beauty School Dropout on repeat.
I feel when I hear something from Grease, I do feel emotionally involved, but not necessarily like a heart pounding, smile generating sort of way.
That's true. If you're doing Soliloquy from Carousel, you fucked up. You're doing it wrong.
I
want to
No one
find out
came-
what karaoke bar this person is going to that has Les Mis in the book.
Oh, man. There's...
I feel like since the movie, everyone's got Hathaway Dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I will now be performing Poor Judd is Dead.
I actually... This is a...
Or like the worst thing is when you get someone, like you do a thing like it's like got too many parts, like you're doing Your Fault from Into the Woods. It's like, look all the parts I
Yeah,
can do.
you need
And everyone's
nine
just like,
nine talented singers. I went to a karaoke place once, and I saw "Sit Down, You Rock in the Boat" in the book, and I was like, "This is a jam. This is going to get the people going. Maybe I'll do it so good that the people will do like the sit down, you're rocking the boat." And
just move to it.
and I got up there, and I grabbed the mic, and I took a swig of beer for courage, and then I heard boom, tink, tink, boom. Tink, tink, boom, tink, tink. And I was like, oh no, I just got Don Henley because it was definitely the Don Henley version. It was the hits.
You got Henley Nightmares and Hathaway Dreams.
Exactly. The other thing that can happen with musical theater is the accompaniment can be real shitty.
Oh, yeah.
So then you get the like doom, ding, ding, doom, ding. Now my selection
Right.
from Floyd Collins won't feel good at all.
Don Henley was exclusively backed up by MIDI files during his solo career. Not a lot of people know that.
I think that the thing that I get stuck on here is the irony, because I feel like the important thing about good karaoke is that at some point, if you're going to sing something that some people might consider an ironic choice, it has to be bolstered by sincerity. You have to make
That's the Justin McElroy story. Literally
Yeah.
every jam you've got is delivered with a stoicism that is just like completely inappropriate.
I don't keep Lori Morgan's Something in Red at arm's length. I love
You become
I love
Let
Lori
it in.
Morgan.
I let it in.
You dress yourself in something in red, and then you
Yeah.
perform
You're,
the song.
you're the vessel. You're the vessel for that song.
It is important to know, no joke, when I was leaving Huntington and moving to Cincinnati, Justin sang that to me at karaoke, and I believe made his mother-in-law cry.
I don't think she quote unquote got it.
She was touched by my performance of a woman struggling to regain her body after the birth of her child. This touched her. I was just a mere conduit for the work of Miss Lori Morgan. Incomparable Miss Lori Morgan.
That reminds me, I was at a wedding once, and the mother-son dance was Helen Reddy's "You and Me Against the World."
Oh boy!
And it was like, oh, she's not ready to let go of him. She's holding him too tight. Pull him out.
That's the
Pull him out.
most
Let him
on the
fly.
nose song choice that you could pick.
Here's another question. Sir, do you have any advice for an actor trying to keep his voice healthy and working on stage? I get so much conflicting information that I'm not sure what is and is not good for my singing. For instance, I have a professor that swears by milk and a voice teacher that says not to touch any dairy near our performance date. What rituals have you done to keep in working order? And that's from Singing the Blues at Swine Palace.
Oh man. Okay, so everyone will tell you something different. The only things that just are fail safes are you have to sleep 8 hours a night and you have to drink like so much water, but then find the balance that you're not peeing your pants on stage. When I started doing In the Heights, I had no idea how about nutrition. I used to eat just personal pan pizzas for 3 meals a day. In my head, this was what I knew about nutrition. I was like, oh, it's the exact same size as my stomach. That's what my stomach
There's a hole. It fills the hole. It's done.
You turn those little pizzas into Tonys. That's the most incredible alchemical transformation I've ever heard of.
But then off Broadway, I just running on fumes. I would think I'll have coffee and a muffin, and then I'll do a 2.5 hour show. And then I'd go, hey, why is everything gray? And why am I going to fall down dead in front of all these people? So nutrition, just getting your food in, and having digested an hour before showtime is clutch, because I was rapping on stage and I just became the burping monster if I ate too close to the thing. So that's one of those things you don't think about unless you're doing it. You have to eat way before and drink lots of water so that you're not going through the things humans go through when you're actually on stage.
You could do what our dad swears by.
What's that?
Hot Dr. Pepper.
Hot Dr. Pepper. That's
hot, that's a real thing.
Tea and coffee hot, and he's like, good for
Except
your voice.
Our dad doesn't drink coffee or tea or alcohol. He drinks hot Dr. Pepper because he's a robot sent from the future to kill all of us.
He also used a maxi pad to.
I'm so glad that you know that story.
To tend to a wound on his butt.
He's going to hear that and be honored that you know that.
I know that you got your hands full with a lot of projects right now, but would you consider your next project being the story of our dad's maxi pad makeshift survivor bandage?
Yes, I think that's rife to be.
Not
told.
A lot of meat on those bones. Maybe for a 1-act competition or something.
Absolutely.
Here's the plan. You star in the TV series of it, then we turn it into a movie. All of a sudden, you got the EGOT.
For our dad's lacerated butt cheek.
Although I really feel like that's more of a Randy Quaid.
Sorry, Lynn, listen, I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you. We have to remove you from the project. It's, listen, Randy Quaid just came out and just, fucking knocked it out of the park.
He wrote some songs on spec.
Yeah.
Performed them himself.
He was so fucking realistic, I asked him to borrow $20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
you know what he did?
Another question.
He cut his own butt cheek open in front of us during the audition.
It was like the scene in Fame. He was just cutting it. Is this what you want?
It is what we wanted.
Oh, God.
I have another question. What would be the worst Hollywood hit to adapt into a musical? I would have said Rocky, but it looks like that's moot. That's from Thomas.
Yeah, it already happened. I think the general rule is it's got to be something that's not dependent on the star. One of the biggest flops of all time was Big, the musical, because, hey, that whole movie is Tom Hanks' face being charming.
But Elvis hung in there.
Yeah, Elvis. That's true. Elvis
I think that's a holiday angle, maybe.
Yeah, it's got a season to wrap around, and it comes out every Christmas. It kind of wraps around that. But I don't know, when I see a movie adaptation, even some of the best ones, I'm just kind of waiting for the scene I like to happen.
Right.
And that becomes, I don't know, that becomes kind of a tough thing. That's why Producers really worked, because that really was a thing about the theater, whereas Young Frankenstein's a movie genre parody, so you're just waiting for Gene Hackman to show up.
I remember. I also think that it has to do with character thing, and that's the difference between Elf and Big. Is Elf is the character Buddy the Elf that was played very well. It's like Shrek the musical. You know what I mean? You're going to see Shrek. You're not going to see Tom Hanks in Big. He's not doing a character. He's just being Tom Hanks.
I remember when I went to our local community theater's production of Titanic, the adaptation of the film Titanic. I was just like, where's the jugs? Just waiting for it. I checked the
Where's that French girl?
I checked the playbill, just like looking for a clue of where the jugs might be. They weren't there. It was mostly just like singing and some hydraulics.
In case anyone's wondering what the main difference between like having a Guestpert and just like recording with my brothers is, earlier Lin-Manuel said that Gene Hackman was in Young Frankenstein, and I didn't say anything, and I've been sitting on it for the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Is Gene Wilder, Lynn? Is Gene Wilder?
Oh man, you just lost a Tony. You got forwarded.
No, dude, Gene Hackman's the blind man in the blind man scene.
Oh, damn it.
Oh
my
shit.
God.
Holy shit.
Holy
fucking
shit.
face,
Epic
Travis.
reversal. Took it.
Set the show on fire.
He came at you with
Downtown.
Give me my tongue.
came at you with a meaty punch,
Well,
and you
it's time
used
for me
his
to
weight
leave the
against
show, Lynn.
Ugh.
I want you to step up and take my place.
All right, so
Oh my god! I took my headphones off because it got so awkward, and then I put them back on just in time.
Oh, fellas.
fucking A, man. Listen, that's
Make my
literally
heart
the
glad.
first time in history, not just this podcast, the history of the world, that Travis got schooled on some sort of Mel Brooks movie minutia. Well done.
It was amazing,
Also,
Lynn.
I would.
Can I counter with a musical question? Okay, so
Yes.
there's a musical being made of your life. Who plays you?
Oh fuck! Between
Brothers,
are,
go.
are you actually asking the three of us, or is this?
I'm actually asking the three
Oh
of
my
you.
god!
I would get Griffin to play me. I mean, he knows me pretty well. I've heard him sing. He does well.
Yeah.
I always thought I was kind of a Peter O'Toole.
Okay.
That shit's
You can't
so-
really-
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you.
You can't really say that out loud. You know, I get a lot of people who, I guess when they see me for the first time or something, they say I look like Elijah Wood, and I don't fucking get it, like, at all. I think it's literally just, like, dudes with brown hair and glasses that aren't super tall. Maybe we have the same frame, the same sort of physical, we cast the same silhouette. I don't know how he is as a singer, though. I don't know that I've ever heard him sing.
For a long time, I got Chris Kattan.
Well, yeah,
Problem is
fucking
that-
yeah.
Well, yeah, a dead ringer. The problem is I've always been compared to people that like are older than me. No one says you look like this 16-year-old kid I know. So can I cast someone who's like 15 years my senior to play me?
If the
Because it
play,
shows Chris
if
Kattan.
the musical is set 15 years from now, yeah, absolutely.
To you in the future. I just wonder how these scribes are going to write so many songs for my musical about looking up low-calorie recipes on the internet and trying to make them. Because that's pretty much what my life is these days.
Okay, here's how I'd cast you, gentlemen.
Yay!
Okay, Justin, Peter Gallagher.
I'll take it.
Fucking what? That's bullshit. I wanted Peter Gallagher so
I
bad.
don't want to be the Gallagher.
He's my favorite living man.
It's me, Justin McElroy. Listen, you'll get him next time. Don't salt Lin-Manuel's game.
Let me give you a schmear.
All right. Okay, Griffin,
Also, Peter Gallagher.
Gallagher 2, the Gallagher.
It'll be like that Frankenstein show where they switch roles every night. Justin gets Gallagher Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Well, I would say in keeping with the young brown-haired man with glasses, I would have Daniel Radcliffe play.
Okay.
Six
I
shows.
love
I'll
it.
tell you that.
Excellent choice.
Can I tell you a problem, though?
Yeah.
Basically, everyone's seen his dick, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh my god, I've seen it.
I like
It
to.
reminded me, I saw it.
I like to. Okay, I have a lot of questions. Let me just say, I like to keep my stuff mysterious. So that casting really wouldn't work for me. Let's send it back. Maybe we can get Quaid in the picture. B. How was that dick though? Because I haven't actually seen.
It was fine, but here's my counter proposal. Okay, we rewrite Equus the musical. It stars, but the main character's name is Griffin,
Okay.
and he likes to fucking blind horses.
Fantastic.
And that way Daniel Radcliffe's playing.
Here's the other issue though: is that Equus the musical is basically our podcast for the past 3.5 years. We have to put some music to the words we've been saying, but I think the content's all there.
Who's Travis?
Who's Travis?
Chris Kattan.
Yeah, either Chris Kattan or Michael Gambon, and we said it way in the future.
I love it.
Oh my god, if there is
I don't know why I
ever...
picked so many British guys for you, but that's just
No,
what
but I
came
love
out.
that.
Listen,
Michael
my-
Gambon plays older Travis. He's looking back at younger Travis, and then I get cast in it, so I can get a Tony. I also want a Tony. Let me into your club, Lynn.
If there was ever a movie with Peter Gallagher, Daniel Radcliffe, and Travis McElroy, I would invent a new format that's better than Blu-rays. So and have that be the only film in the format, because that's how I would want to.
That way you could
forever.
really clearly see my facial expressions, as I had no idea what to do acting with the two of them. Hey, Harry Potter and the dude from the OC. It's really
Remember?
great to be
Hey,
here.
remember when you were Sandy Cohen?
I love
Remember
you,
Salt My
Sandy
Game?
Cohen.
I got another question for you, Lynn.
All right.
This is a little more serious. The
Okay.
theater is my passion, but my passion does not pay the bills. I have found some success in stage managing locally. It's not enough to support my lifestyle, namely eating and having a roof over my head. I have a full-time career.
So selfish.
Not fulfilling, and it often prevents me from doing more theater projects. Learn to forage. How do I find balance between needing money to live and living for the arts? And that's from It's a Hard Knock Life in North Cornwall Township, PA.
That's
theater
I mean-
hotspot.
Yes, hotbed, timeout.
I mean, we shouldn't hate, because like we did theater for Christ, like decades in Huntington, West Virginia, the Great White Way, which I say because it's only white people there.
Dude, their production of Saigon
Did not work. Travis was in. This is no shit. Travis was
You
in.
think you're joking?
Travis,
Go ahead, Griffin.
Travis was in a production of Fame where, oh Christ, what was the role?
No, forget. Okay, well, Griffin, more strike. You're right in that we did have. There's a kid in
Tyrone.
the show named Tyrone, who is a young African American man who sings a song about being black that includes lines like, you know, "I don't want no black Jack, ace of spades." That was played by.
Don't need no rich bitch.
Yeah, hold me down, right? It was played by a white gentleman, but wait, they did dye his hair black.
Oh no.
Now,
So
wait,
that's really cool.
you want me to top that? I played Lord High Underling in a 98% white version of The Wiz at my high school.
I also played a Siamese person in The King and I.
So
Jeez.
that's where
Travis,
we're at.
did you underwent a very I would say exhausting bronzing treatment for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I was tanning every day for 25 minutes a day.
God, see, that's the, you know, I'm getting those stories now with Heights, because Heights is getting done all over the country, and they're like, check out our tans, and I'm like, no,
No,
That's
wait,
not who are,
it's not
please.
I did that for
That was
South
bueno.
Pacific. I was the little boy in South Pacific. Dites-moi pourquoi. That was me. I dyed my hair black.
Can you give me that? Can you give me that one more time?
Dites-moi pourquoi.
Oh boy,
Still
Howard.
got it.
Oh my
got
God, Amelie is.
That's where it came from. Oh God, I wish somebody would write plays for white people.
For once. Lynn, should this person move? You think?
No, well, I mean, if this person, well, listen, everyone's trying to find that balance, right? Of doing what you love and still having a roof over your head. I was a professional substitute teacher for 8 years when I was telling everyone I was a writer. I was, in fact, telling my kids when I was subbing, and they would just yell and throw things at me. I'd be like, I've got big dreams, kids.
Listen,
Turn to chapter 3.
I don't know maths.
Yes, but I'm workshopping this, kids. Tell me what you think. So, you know, that's the hard thing, is like finding jobs that give you flexibility. That's why a lot of actors are waiters. I was a sub. I was like a professional sub forever. I used to dance at bar mitzvahs, like, and not even
Hold on,
like
that's
as
something
the entertainment.
that's something they hire out.
Yeah, and it's
For
it's
substitute
really
teachers?
weirdly pimpish. It's like they hire you to be a guy to encourage kids to dance. So you feel weirdly, you're literally
Holy
asking
shit.
13-year-olds like, "Hey Rachel, you're a woman now. Why don't you get your friends to come dance?"
Oh my God, Lynn, I did this exact job at Gino's Pub and Family Fun Center, except I put on a Hawaiian shirt and got people to do YMCA.
Oh, God.
Same thing, right?
Oh,
Basically.
yeah. It's tough. It's tough. That's
Did
always,
you do?
always the
I
challenge.
could have used you at like a couple homecomings. I feel like you could like run.
Hey,
the,
Griffin,
the-
get
the-
up and dance with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and literally be like, "Hey, Sweet Caroline, I know this one. Do you guys?"
Oh Jesus Christ, that's
was-
incredible. Why didn't you go?
I'm out of dignity.
Obviously,
I'm out of dignity. It's great.
obviously you've done very well for yourself in the acting circuit. But did you ever consider going pro at the dance pimp circuit?
I'm so scared one day a video is going to emerge and it'll all be over. Just me dancing with like a 13-year-old girl doing the Macarena. Everything will end.
That'll be the clip for your in memoriam.
No, no, no.
I saw a great tweet from Rob Lowe after the during the Oscars. Who said that every time they get a shot of him opening a door and smiling, he wonders if it's the one they'll use for his Emma Morgan clip. Okay, I was at a function I didn't really want to be at recently. Everyone was wearing ties and fresh haircuts. The subject of musicals was brought up, whereupon I mentioned that I love them. When asked what I like, I said that Singin' in the Rain and Phantom of the Opera are two of my favorites. These selections were met with a certain amount of eye-rolling and dismissal. Obviously, I've seen other musicals, but I feel that these are famous and frequent favorites for a reason. Still, I was phased out of a conversation where musicals were discussed almost exclusively by lyricist/composer. Brothers, Guestpert, what is the most obnoxiously obscure Broadway musical I could spring on Snooty Theater Know-It-Alls? That's from Petty Perspective Playbill Pedant.
That's fun.
Ugh. These friends sound like the worst.
Sound like the pits,
I
right? Who
agree.
doesn't want to appreciate the classics?
Is there...
Yeah, Singing in the Rain is like the best movie musical ever
It's
made.
very good.
And Phantom, how old are you, Griffin? Phantom's older than Griffin. It's been running on Broadway longer than Griffin.
I am 14 years old.
And he owns a house.
I own a house. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah. No, it's literally been running 2/3 of my life. And you know why? I always wonder at it. I think it's because it gets at like your most emo teenager thing. It's like about like a guy who's like, I'm hideously ugly, but secretly I'm a genius.
Oh, Christ. They are going to remake this, and it's going to be called Friend Zone, and instead of a mask and horrible facial disfiguration, it'll be a fedora and horrible facial disfiguration.
But you know, if you want to like be really like highbrow, you just say Floyd Collins. Floyd Collins is like this really great musical by Adam Gettle about a guy who was stuck in a well, and it didn't run that long, so no one actually saw it, but everyone pretends to have seen it, and they go, "Oh, well, I saw Floyd Collins."
Is there a sort of relationship that sort of exists in music where if your show can make it to Broadway, it is no longer, underground? Is there sort of that same sort of indie dichotomy of like once a band becomes so popular that like Pitchfork reviews them or features them as best new music that they're not underground anymore?
Like
Yeah,
once you won your Tony, did people just write you off?
They were like, "Oh, he's bullshit." I know him before he was. I saw Heights before it was cool.
I saw him dancing
thing
with a 13-year-old girl.
I like this old stuff when he was dancing with the Macarena at bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, I liked his early stuff with Rachel. No, but the thing that happens with musical theater snobs is they like the thing that ran 10 performances or 11 performances and like flopped because no one went to see it, and they're like, "Oh, well, I saw."
Okay. Because they're the only ones in the room who saw that like sort of experience is fossilized in amber.
That's kind of like a weird. I've never really thought about the repercussions of like the potential for being a snooty fan of theater, because people can't seek out, like they literally can't seek out this thing that you saw. Like they can lay no claim to it whatsoever because it's so impermanent.
Forever the holy grail, like, I don't know, seeing Nirvana when it was in a garage was seeing Carrie the musical. Because it was like the biggest bomb of all time, and there was like a crazy hip-hop gym number. And so like if you saw Carrie when it was running, like way more people claim to have seen it than actually saw it.
That's great.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about it, right? Because almost by definition, if something is really fantastic and like something you have to see, then it will be around for longer, right?
Yeah.
I saw the original actor in the Spider-Man musical before he broke every bone below his penis. He shattered every bone below his penis in the greatest fall I've ever seen.
You know, you joke, but it's funny. There's like a whole like movement of people who are like, I saw the Tamor version before they recut it, and it was so much better. Like, there's totally that. That's the corollary to the like hipster I saw it before it was popular thing. It was like I saw it when it was bad, and it was great.
Is there the room of musicals? I guess.
Yes, and it's called Dance of the Vampires. And it was
I'm already so fucking on board of this rocket.
And it was a huge hit in Germany.
Of course it fucking was.
It ran 14 performances on Broadway, and it was all Jim Steinman music, and he's the guy who wrote all of, like, Meatloaf's tunes.
Right. Okay, yes.
And so it was vampire porn mixed with, you know, I Would Do Anything for Love
Fucking
type 8-minute.
So it was
sounds like basically every movie Johnny Depp's ever been in.
It was a 3-hour musical with 4 songs in it, is what you're telling me.
and lots of emoting and feelings, yeah.
Terrific.
I am so... Do you know how I wake up angry that Jim Steinman never got to make his Batman musical? I wake up angry and go to bed angry about it.
I love me some Jim Steinman. My favorite rumor about Jim Steinman, I've never met him. I'm sure he's awesome. But my favorite rumor about Jim Steinman is that he goes into restaurants and goes, I will take everything on the menu, thank you. That's like a thing I've heard people who have eaten with him say. He goes, just one of everything, thank you.
He doesn't eat it, he just throws it away so other people can't have it.
Just to have it.
Sure.
Just to have it.
He wants there to be less food on Earth. Thank you so much to our special Guestpert, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Whoa, I just barely got through it there. Hold on, right to the end. I had a little mini stroke. Nothing to worry about, folks. If people want to see you in person,
Where do you live?
how can they?
What's your address?
How can they do that?
Oh, well, you can follow me on the Twitter, Lin_Manuel, and you can come see Hamilton, which will open in January. At the Public. Oh, and I'm going to act in Tick Tick Boom this summer.
Oh, fuck, that's right, yeah.
At City Center in June. So, and that's like 5 shows. So you could just say you saw it even if you didn't get to see it and be like, I saw him in Tick Tick Boom. Post Dancing with Rachel.
I did more performances of that if It's a Bird to play Superman, Lynn. What's going on? Tell them to step up.
That's their whole deal, though. They do it for like 5 shows. I mean, and that's the whole thing. But yeah, so I'm doing that, and I live in Washington Heights, and you can see me on the train.
Perfect. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. It means the world.
Thank you, fellas. It's a dream come true.
Aw, I was not kidding about that, Tony. I do need it.
Thank you so much to our friend Lin-Manuel Miranda.